fucking breaking news. Breaking news, Netflix is trying to charge you for sharing your Netflix passwords, bro.
It's just stupid.
It is dumb. And I don't think, I don't think we are going to be able to ever afford another upcharge in all the fucking streaming services that are available now. We got Paramount, HBO, Hulu, Netflix, which admittedly hasn't released anything good in ages, in my opinion. I mean, Stranger Things 4 was hot so far, but
I've been watching some stupid stuff on Netflix that's like cringy stupid, that like you have to be a 18-year-old female from, I don't know, Jersey in order to love, I don't know, just, a party girl that likes drama. They have a couple of these drama shows, and I just watch them, and they're so catchy, but they're geniuses in how they do it. But I've been watching so much comedy on there lately. Not to mention, a lot of, different things, stand-up and stuff. But when I'm at work, I have an earpiece in, and if I'm not listening to other podcasts or music, I'm listening to comedy skits and stuff, whether it's...
You got it. That's what you have to do, pretty much, in my opinion. But, what I watch the most, admittedly, I got really into Justice League Phantoms, which is like Young Justice, pretty much. I'm pretty sure it's Young Justice Phantoms. And, like, Invincible, I'm looking forward to season 3 of that. The Boys coming out. What shows on Netflix are you really anticipating besides the conclusion of things like Stranger Things?
Well, The Boys aren't on Netflix.
That's Amazon, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, for Netflix, I don't know. I don't want to cut my Netflix out because sometimes I get like movies and stuff that I need to see that I haven't seen that like have been on the list for years. But for the original stuff, it's a hit and miss. But I binge watched so much random stuff at work just in my ear that, like Ozark ended pretty well.
That'll give it to you. I feel like I slept on season 2 because it just...
Everybody did. It sucked. It took me It took me until like the beginning, the first part of season 4, like that beginning, to actually push myself to finish season 2. And then once I finished season 2, I jumped to 3, and that was a weekend right there because I have nothing to do. And it's like I could go fishing. It was cold out still. So it's like, all right, well, I'll watch this. And then once the last season 4 came out, I had to finish. I think I was finishing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and then I started watching that, and then finished that.
CW has some interesting.
I like the
shows.
CW stuff, like The Flash. I love, and
Arrow. But you gotta admit, it was so much better back when it was more grounded. I feel like they're trying to do too much extra shit with Flash now.
They're trying to keep up with Marvel, man. Like Marvel has, so much, but without the Flash, you can't really do like different flashpoints and different multiverse things as easily because he's the dude that not discovered multiverse, but like he was one of those guys that that was in tune with like time traveling multiverse in that DC era. You don't see Batman discovering multiverses like that.
Well, that's the thing about like Batman and Green Arrow. I feel like they're more grounded versus the rest of DC is so abstract. It's hard to make a great.
Well, it's because they have superpower, or everybody else has superpowers.
Well, you got like Doctor Strange and the Hulk and Thor. They all have decent movies. It's just, I feel like the more OP you get, you lose some of the flavors.
I think in order to have like a perfect OP, it has to be anime. Like my favorite animes is when like you have a character that is so overpowered that it's not necessarily the battles that are his issue. It's like being a normal person.
I feel like
One Punch Man.
Anime you could take home with you because they always got those fucking life lessons that just be hitting, bro.
Come get you some life lessons. Come get you some.
Honestly, man, what are your top? You got a top 5 or top 3 or anything?
Well, Naruto's always gonna be my number 1. I grew up with that forever. Hell, even with Boruto, it's not taken out everything,
Boruto's not Naruto, in my opinion, bro.
It's not, but, I have to watch it because I've watched every Naruto. I can't even tell you how many times I rewatched that. Bleach, which I'm so excited for them to finally release the last manga out. this year, which they've been saying for the last 3 years, 4 or 5 years.
I'm gonna say something controversial, but this is my prediction, everybody. My prediction. I feel like Naruto and Boruto is exactly what they're gonna do to Thor and Thor: Love and Thunder, and they're gonna demasculate the shit out of him and be like, "Oh, he was really cool, but now he's kind of worthless without Kuruma." Versus Thor, he was kind of cool, but now Jane shows up and she's like way overpowered and fucking way cooler than him.
You hear that they had issues with Hulk and his t-shirt or his ripping his shirt? That they want him to have a shirt now?
Yeah, I heard.
People are getting turned on. I'm like, who's getting turned on by Hulk titties?
I don't know.
I mean, like, that's the best CG I ever had.
I've seen a lot of Shrek porn in my time, and it wasn't.
Wasn't that one where he flies in the window and they got?
There's a bunch of them, bro. Some of you fuckers are twisted out there. Dude.
No, there was a Shrek one. But one of my old bosses made me watch it when I was working at the other car shop, the second one before I started where I'm working now.
Right.
I'm gonna have to find it, but it's some Shrek video, and this kid has an abusive dad or something like that, and he just thinks about Shrek, and Shrek comes in and just it's disturbing as no other. I'm sitting there just like watching it in disgust and looking like it looks like I'm looking at a computer screen.
Yep.
And I just have like customers like looking at me, looking at like what looks like a computer that could possibly have an issue with what they have going on in their car. So they're looking confused. Oh, God, if I could think of just the catchphrases they use in that, and I won't rewatch it again. But
I just wish there was more cartoons like Shrek, because Shrek is the only childhood movie that I've seen that's that animated that way that I can appreciate more as an adult.
I liked Cars for a while until we had to watch it every day.
Yeah, our little brother was obsessed with
But, I mean, I grew up with Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, and then I wasn't a big fan of Lion King 2 as a kid, so it was Lion King 1 and then both Toy Stories. But I only watched cartoons until I was like 8. Then I was watching Starship Troopers and freaking Michael Myers.
All the Predator movies, Anaconda.
Oh, Anaconda. Those had Ice Cube in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was great.
Megalodon, Jaws. I mean, we watched a lot of that, and then the other rip-off sci-fi stuff. But, I mean, you think about Scream, what's it, Pinhead, what is that? Hellraiser.
Hellraiser, yeah.
Oh, man. I wasn't a big Hellraiser fan.
Pyramid Head from Silent Hills.
Pyramid Head was cool. I was so infatuated with how, like, the design on him. I always thought it was a cheese grater.
I felt like he was a cheese grater, too, but at the same time, as I watch Bleach, because I'm starting to get caught up in Bleach for the new season, I feel like he should have been in Bleach. Because the way he carried that big-ass fucking thing with him all the time, I feel like he could have been a Bleach character.
I will say this. So, for the other three, oof. Kuroko's basketball. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the story or just, like, the sport, but, like, I don't know. Kuroko's basketball did it for me. And maybe it's just the way that they were talking, how they thought, the thought process and stuff like that goes. And that was cool. And then it's a cross for number 4, I think, is a tie between Sword Art and Grandchild.
Oh, Wise Man's Grandchild?
Wise Man's Grandchild. And then number 5, I really did like that freaking High School of Undead. But then I saw another one that was more like The Purge.
I think they're making a second
Netflix. Yeah, they are. They just announced that they're finally going to do one. They had another one. I think I saw on Netflix. It was like The Purge.
Something. High-rise.
They have like the smiley face.
Yeah.
That was really good. But if
I never got into that one, but I think I just stopped at the first episode because I was confused.
I bumped Inuyasha out. Oh man, number 5. I'm trying to think of I think I'd probably move everything down the list and then put Dragon Ball Z at number 2.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, that and Naruto has so much. So much. I mean, newer superheroes and anime that's coming out. I mean, they got a lot of their ideas, but I mean, you walk into anywhere for people who have never seen anime, and you say Goku,
Everybody.
They know who Goku is.
He ain't beating Goku though. No, that's a huge.
I still think
thing.
Saitama could, just because his ability is just to win every fight. No matter who he goes up against, he automatically gets either a buff or a nerf. But he's always above the next guy. So if he's going up against Hulk, he automatically becomes stronger than Hulk. Why? Because he doesn't literally have a power. He just has a law of how his. It's like a law of the physics, but a law of his power. The only person that can stop him is Ichigo.
Well, I don't.
Because Goku doesn't have what. So in Bleach, you go off of your soul level or whatever, like your power of your soul and whatnot. Well, for that kind of power, anybody that's not as strong or can't hold themselves up, just powering himself up mentally, anybody that's so far under dies or just gets squashed under the gravity of his own
soul
power.
Pressure or whatever.
Yeah, his soul pressure. Goku won't have any soul pressure, so in fourth Goku
Well, in
will die.
that logic, like if you transport Goku to Naruto's universe, he would die because he doesn't have any chakra.
Rock Lee didn't have
Well, he has chakra.
Chakra and chi is, I think, is the same, just in different word for it.
Yeah.
But granted, I think Goku would be jumped.
I just don't think you can use. I feel like you would have to use the logic that Goku could withstand it.
I don't think Goku could withstand it unless. Well, the thing is too is Goku's a guy that won't fight you unless you are at your full power, and he doesn't fully power up equally until he's getting his ass beat. So he's like, I want you at your full strength. Meanwhile, I'm going Super Saiyan 1. He can go 3, 2, 3, blue, 4 in the Goku's, Dragon Ball GT, Goku Time or whatever it's called, and then Super, and now they come out with the next one that's just announced June 3rd.
Yeah, and Gohan's supposed to get a power up in that one.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like the Cell Saga, where he's stronger than everybody again.
Yeah, the Mystic form. I don't know how that's going to go. I feel like Mystic is basically with Ultra Instinct.
Everybody keeps getting stronger in the show to where they can sneeze and blow up a planet, so they have to start fighting people from other galaxies. But at what point, I don't ever want to see my childhood, movie shows to end, because it's I get to keep going with it and seeing something new. But at what point do you run out of room for growth? I mean, stop making your villain so damn strong and just make it more strategic. Like Naruto, yeah, the guys get stronger as they go, but I mean, I think only Might Guy is going to be the only one blowing up a planet.
That's why I liked Hit, because Hit wasn't necessarily stronger than Goku. It's just he had an ability to work around to fuck Goku up.
Yeah, he had some type of
time slip.
The time slip where you skip, you can go in and just one hand punch her. But I mean, even anime is not the only thing I want to see continue. I wish we could get some new episodes of Courage, Ed, and Eddie.
Oh yes.
I can sleep on a lot of the rest of them because
I don't think this generation of children would be prepared for Ed, or not Ed, and Eddie, but Courage.
Our generation wasn't prepared for it. We grew up on Family Guy, South Park, Futurama, and 2.5 Men, and we're still getting offended by everything, man.
Well, I'm just saying Courage would just scar this generation.
I think people should cancel culture people, and then get offended when people are offended, to their point where if you're offended for something stupid and I get offended, then you shouldn't be able to get offended no more. This is a weird thought process, but if I cut you off,
I honestly didn't even understand what your mental gymnastics was right there.
So if I offend somebody, I get canceled. Well, what if I get offended that they're offended, and then which one gets canceled? Because I'm being offended too. So 2
negative equals a positive.
So then I just keep going, and they shut up, and they can choose to watch or not watch. And I plan on being very offensive for the rest of my life.
Come here, Tank. Tank, what was your favorite anime?
Pissed off.
Love is War. Congratulations.
But yeah, I mean, just for random thoughts and stuff. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of anime or anything like that. I've been watching just regular TV and sports, and then I watch a lot of videos too, like Snapchats and TikToks, just to get ideas for topics. But I think one of them, the guy who came out and he had Eminem rapping, and then there was that deaf dude that translates for all the deaf people. I'm thinking, like, what other jobs would suck to have to translate, you know, for deaf people that would just be, like, exhausting? Maybe, like, horse races?
Horse races or the auctioneers.
Oh, dude. They just have to, like, just make a decimal point. Yeah, screw that. I think at that point, deaf people.
You would be a master.
They could do silent auction. What?
You'd be a master at sewing after all that, though. Your hands would be moving so quick.
Dude, you could play like 4 songs simultaneously on the piano.
That would be fucking insane, dude. Imagine if you had to.
You should do some Dance Revolution and like get your legs moving.
And I think also because certain times I know for people who translate hand signs, they have to like stress words if they're stressed in a sentence by like amplifying their, not like making their hands bigger, but like you add emphasis. How would you do that?
You do it like this.
Primo concert?
Well, they go like, so this is if this is bullshit. They gotta be like big bullshit, big bullshit, big bullshit. This whole thing right here, big bullshit. I don't know anything else for sign language. I was gonna learn.
But it like fuck you or something.
I thought that was like Chinese for fuckers. I don't know.
I have no idea. But
Universal Sign Language is the only sign language I care about. But yep. So besides that other weird question, I also was thinking, because I was talking to some people today about switching jobs for just random topics, and I was thinking like cigarette companies. If you didn't smoke, would they hire you?
I'd say so. Just for the simple fact that
you'd be like, I don't smoke, I'm healthy. Well, we're trying to sell the opposite of that.
Not to sound like ignorant, but a lot of Native Americans own casinos. Have you ever seen a Native American gamble? Think about that. So.
Well, time out. If I'm betting on like BetMGM or something like that for sports stuff, or like just like different betting apps and stuff, if I bet against Vegas, am I not betting against the casinos? And if I am I not betting with the Native Americans or Indians or whatever they want to be called?
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to pander to everybody because they are offended that I called them something that I've only been raised to. Oh, okay, that sounds terrible. I was raised racist, damn it. It was stay racist. I was just raised ignorant and the schools don't teach you shit no more.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Oh, yes, you can.
So,
it's called debatable. But like, what if I'm like working like Camel, but I'm smoking like Marlboros? Like, sir, you gotta. You need to switch your cigarettes. I'm like, but ours tastes bad. Well, why aren't you working for here?
Do they have to do like product testers?
Oh, just imagine product testing for everything.
Just sitting there and like, oh, I don't know if that one's good enough. This one either.
Yeah, black lung person week.
They got like 6 holes in their trachea to breathe.
I can't think about trachs. I can't, because all I think about is like Quagmire. Have you ever got busy with that thing?
You would know, because those who don't know, he tried to become EMS.
I was an EMS. I took all the paramedic courses, and I got my state certification, but so I didn't get my national.
So is the hole in your neck to breathe, is that a real thing?
So yeah, it's called, well...
Like with a straw, like someone's choking.
So, if somebody's like, if you have to do like a tracheotomy or something like that, they take and they, rub alcohol and stuff, then they make an incision on your windpipe, and then they take something to shove it down there. I wasn't really trained for that. That's probably more paramedic or, something like that. Could I do it? I'm pretty confident that I could, just because I've read the books on them. And there's some other stuff to it and
just
whatnot.
Take a hammer and a life straw and just smash somebody on their chest.
In theory, yes, it would work, but depending on, if you're a bigger guy, you're going to suck up a lot more oxygen. You're probably going to breathe more heavy. That small straw is going to freaking hurt.
I feel targeted.
Because, have you ever just tried to put a straw in your mouth and breathe just through the straw? It's restrictive, and it's it's not relaxing. It's what's the word I'm looking
Labor
for?
intensive.
Yeah, but I was looking for specific words. But it's exhausting, is what it is.
We need a thesaurus in here.
Well, the word that you're looking for the other day, do you see what I said? It was cultural
appropriation.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for last podcast.
That wasn't what, because I know what cultural appropriation is when a white person wears dreads or cornrows because that's commonly associated with black culture.
I don't think it should even be a thing.
Is the fact that when I'm black and I talk to a black community of people, I use, what's up, my nigga this, my nigga that. But when I go and talk to all my white friends,
howdy!
Okay, well, since I'm a little bit more honest, yes, I will talk to them usually the same way. However, if I'm talking to my boss, it's switching to that white tone of voice, and you don't use as many vulgarities. Is that a word?
I think it's kind of like
code switching.
Well, if you ever learn Russian, they have the same word. They have two of the same words for everything, and it's your way that you say hello to a friend or a stranger or something. Then you have proper where it's it's
the same way in Spanish.
Well, yeah. So you have ways to say goodbye would be kaka for your friends, but if you're saying goodbye and to your parents, something you say "do svidaniya." So I think it's the same way, just you use slang versus, when you're talking to your friends, and then if you're talking to your homeboys, it's a little bit more southern or maybe east side slang or west coast slang, depending on where your area is. And then the cat, dude, he does it all the time. It makes me so mad. And then you have when you're talking to your boss. I mean, I'm not gonna walk up. I've only had two bosses in my life where I could walk up. Hey, what's up, homie? Give me some skin, dog. I had one boss that did that every day, and then, my boss now probably wouldn't care if he ever, he only works 3 days a week in shop, so it's but most of the time it's just, good morning, sir. Not that he's not cool. You just grow up, and I think it's just part of your maturity. What I can't stand is people that use slang all the time, on Facebook or anytime you check your Snapchat. How's it going? This is Tanisha. We out here. She white as hell too. She
racially motivated. No, I'm kidding.
It would be a white girl, and I'm making up names. I'm not name dropping anybody I know, but she I'm Taekwon, or my name's Jessica, and I'm out here just doing my thing, my nails and my baby. And she has 3 kids, all from different baby dads. And then on Facebook, why can't I just find a nice guy? And then nice guy hit him up, and then she don't even want to be friends. She's like, yeah, let's go out. You take her out, spend some money, not from experience, by the way. Take him out, spend some money, and have a good dinner, have a good date. And then she ghosts him forever, and then still can't find a nice guy. Date some dude that beats the hell out of her. I'm gonna say something very controversial, but this is my opinion, and you could call me if I'm wrong. I think this is going to be so messed up to say. It is. I think
this is not my official stance on this, as you know.
I think with a 80% prejudice, women like dudes that treat them like utter garbage. I think women truthfully like to be cheated on.
I'm gonna hold you there.
I was still going with my thoughts.
I know where you're going with this, and let me just say.
I know it's probably
I know from females that's incel behavior.
Okay, yes, but listen. Then why the fuck do they keep doing it? Why did they pass on the guy that's funny, maybe not hardcore, probably doesn't drive the bike, but maybe has a decent car, good credit, decent place to live. What else do decent dudes have? A job.
I'm suffering.
Not at a Not a bad job, something he's had to work for, either with school or blue job, collar that he had to study, do a lot of man hours to make that money. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it, I think, is a cultural perspective from today's dating culture. You might be.
Today's dating culture is garbage. Ain't nobody believe in monogamy. No one believes in the sanctity of marriage or the ring. It's till death do we part. They get in a fight over tortillas and get a divorce. I mean, come on, man. Joe Biden, come on, man.
Well, I think a lot of people struggle with what they want today because they know a lot of things that they do want in life because of social media, things like of that nature, are so inachievable that they don't know what they want, and it's an indecisive nature to it. But
How do you not know what you want, though?
Philosophical person or anything, but
I mean, how do you know what you want? I mean, I know that I don't like getting kicked in the balls. I'm not going to date somebody that has on their Tinder profile loves to kick people in the nuts. You know.
Well, I think a lot of people have an idea of what they want, but a lot of people stay with what they need.
I think people are scared of commitment and what other people think. I think that's the bottom line. I can't be with him because my friends might think I'm this kind of person, or this person is like, for me, you know, I've had people like, I don't know about you. You're very, you're very conservative, and like, I'm worried that you might have opinions on this. I'm like, look, I have these opinions and not these opinions. Or I've had women like, hey, I can't date you because you're black, and I like you, my parents do, but the other parts of my family just aren't. It's fine. I mean, I don't care. I mean, as long as they're honest, not just like hey, what's going on? Where you at? And they never show up. I had that happen one time as like a teenager. I showed up and she didn't show up.
Oh, getting ghosted?
Yeah, but that time I was ghosted, it actually ended up really well night. I met somebody else, and it was a good show.
Well, it might just be from just poor experiences that have shaped your worldview on that.
Well, I see it on everybody's Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram, and just people on the radio.
Social media again.
I'm just saying, cause
I just feel like what you see on social media doesn't always correlate.
No, but I think people put too much information out there. So, like, yeah, I know that this could be funny or could not be true, but then again, people post all of their business all the time on social media towards like, maybe dude, you just ain't shit, and it's not the guys in your life. Maybe it's you. I'm not saying that Rihanna acts for the hit, but I'm saying I know some women that got some big mouths, and I'm not saying Chris Brown's guilty for getting mad at smacking her, because there's some people out there that need to be kicked in the nuts for hitting women.
Circle back to the fact that all truth is subjective based on your own perception.
Well, there's the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. So we got some known knowns, some unknown unknowns, and then we got things we don't know that we don't know we don't know.
Jen Rumby bars.
That's some Socrates stuff right there.
I was like, it took me years to realize that his name was Jen and then Rummy, as in rum. I didn't realize that right off the bat.
Dude, if you didn't say his name, I'd have no idea who that was.
You had no idea? No?
I may have heard the name, but I don't know.
Ed Wensler the Third. Rest in peace, Charlie Murphy.
Was he really Ed Wensler?
Yeah, Ed Wensler the Third. Yeah.
That was Charlie Murphy?
Yeah.
Who plays Uncle Ruckus? That dude has got to be the funniest.
I heard the freaking.
If those of you guys don't know, we're talking about the Boondocks. Not Boondock Saints, but that black Adult Swim show that aired for like 4 lovely seasons.
One of my favorite YouTubers hates. He's a black person. His name's Jody. He hates Boondocks. He says it paints black people in a bad light.
I think Boondocks is what specific type of people of a specific ethnic background that live in more uneducated and undeveloped areas feel like they have to live up to some expectation or standard. How does that? That took a lot of brain power to say it that way.
I don't necessarily agree with it. I think it's a stereotypical.
Yeah, but some people feel like they have to live up to a stereotype.
Because it's a cartoon. Because obviously you're going to have some people who think that they have to portray that stereotype in order to be strong as like an ignorant black person. But
or white or Hispanic or Asian. We got to collude them all now.
But at the same time, you're just a reflection of the people that you surround yourself with.
It's called being a product of your environment. You hang out with successful people. Look, when I moved out here to this little bit nicer area than I was living, I had
the rent prices though, low key, but no.
I mean, I had bad credit. I didn't really know how to get out of the mud that I was in, and then eventually I started hanging out with people that had a little bit more than I did, and then I took mental notes, like, okay, this is why, or what they do, but this is why, and like just different things that they do to get money that it's not always just working, but there's other things involved with it, just different lifestyle and how to how to, it's not like Kevin Hart hanging out with Dwayne Wade and then Dwayne Wade spending so much money he can't keep up because he has a bank account, a checking account, and a savings account. It takes 3 business days. No, I don't have to worry about that because if you want to have a lot of money and you have a lot of money, the point is not to spend a lot of money so you can keep your money and still, of course you get what you pay for. So you have to kind of decide on the flexibility of that.
So I think that this entire conversation started off with Netflix passwords. So
they're gonna burn, and I think Disney's not gonna be far behind. If it's not the fact that they bought Marvel and every Marvel movie decides to bust records, they're gonna be right there with it. And they're getting sued so bad, Netflix, from like their shareholders and stuff right now.
Well, this accountant's perspective, they leverage so much of their stuff on debt and future projections of income from their subscriber base that's the entire issue with their model. If you can't retain the customer.
Well, they don't go up to $30 a month or whatever. They would have more subscribers. Ain't nobody trying to pay that much where they can. That's half of freaking that's half a cable. Cable like $100. You're getting like what, $20-30 for Netflix, and then more now if you share a password. Why? With all these other subscriptions, I just make a freaking different email every month and just do a free month trial all the time. If that came down to it, screw it.
You definitely could.
The only reason why I'm paying for it all because sometimes Netflix has decent stuff.
Imagine if it was linked to your credit. That would be tough. But all right, guys, we're gonna end it here on this one to make the video just a little smaller than last time.
So this is a bonus episode. That's why we're wearing the same. We just did a Maverick review on the Top Gun Maverick. Spoiler, if you haven't watched it, I wouldn't suggest watching the podcast until you watch it. Unless you don't care about spoilers and you're going to see it anyway, at which point, go for it.
Goodbye, Tank. Good cat.
He's not a good cat.
He's a good guy.
Oh, he's trying to eat your hand right there.
He's a good little guy.
Anyway, that's the podcast, and we'll be back probably sometime this week, right?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Thank you guys for watching.
We're going to get a drop back soon, so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
What do you utilize these teeth? I have no idea, bro.